It's Derby Day. So much history between these sides. Sheffield Wednesday have won 4 league titles, 3 FA Cups, but it's 8 years since they've been in the Premier League. For United, 1 league title, 3 FA Cups, but they have the expectation from their fans of getting back to the Premier League this season. Steel yourselves for something special at Hillsborough today. Your match commentators, Don Goodman and Ian Dark.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, the fierce rivalry between the Owls and Blades of Sheffield started 115 years ago this week. And it's always been a tremendous fixture. There'll be over 30,000 here today, and they could have sold 50,000. They once had 49,000 in the 3rd division, these two. Well, Sheffield Wednesday can climb 10 places to 5th with a win. 2 changes after a 4-0 defeat at Plymouth last time out, and one of them could be vital. Winger Jermaine Johnson, who played havoc in this game last year, is back from a Jamaican World Cup trip. Skipper Richard Wood is fit, and left-back Tommy Spur, who was supposed to be ruled out for a month, has made a near miraculous recovery to play. Esaias and Small are the men left out. Sheffield United have won their last 3, but they still make a change. Barnsley's FA Cup winning hero at Anfield last season, Brian Howard, gets his first start for the Blades. He replaces Danny Webber. And what a day for 19-year-old right-back Kyle Norton, a local boy and Blades fan, playing in his first derby. On the substitute bench, big news for Sheffield Wednesday. Atko Soggio has been out since the opening day. He scored twice that day and in the derby last year. He's fit again. And among the United subs, Anthony Stokes, who's arrived on loan from Sunderland. Who will be the stars in stripes in this fixture? Absolutely fantastic atmosphere, Don.
Oh, it's wonderful. I had my first taste of it this time last season, and it really struck with me. Absolutely magnificent atmosphere.
And several big confrontations out there today. James Beattie's going to be a big player in this fixture. He scored a late equaliser when these two sides met at Bramall Lane last season, and 2 goals last time out against Bristol City. Getting very fit now after a slow start to the season. Marking him today will be 18-year-old Mark Beavers. He's been at the club since he was 12 years old. He's a Wednesday fan, and he hasn't lost a derby yet.
Well, he'll be hoping that they're very, very good omens, won't he, young man? Sheffield Wednesday's player of the year last season. He was immense. Big game for him today.
Another man who hasn't tasted defeat yet is Brian Laws, who knows the value of a victory in this fixture. His Sheffield Wednesday side produced a fantastic display here against Sheffield United last season, even though at the time they were 21st in the table. We'll be looking for something similar today. Kevin Blackwell, who knows all about the passion of these derbies when he was Neil Warnock's sidekick at Sheffield United. And what a great job he's been doing for the Blades, who currently lie 5th in the table. They can return to 4th with a win today.
Well, I think they're real genuine promotion contenders this time round. Sheffield United, disappointing start to last season. Really cost them.
Great expectations, and I think the mood was captured in the Sheffield Stars football edition last night when it said, who cares about the global financial meltdown? There's a Sheffield derby to be won. Well, this is the only game in town for everybody in Sheffield this weekend. Make no mistake about that. Sheffield United, of course, in the red and white stripes, the blue and white stripes, equally famously of Sheffield Wednesday. And an early touch for Gary Speed, appearing in his 835th game today. Amazing career, his 21st season.
Well, you can't really praise him highly enough, can you? Gary Speed has been right at the top of his game for such a long time. Outstanding.
Could be a bit tasty as well, this.
Well, you heard Kevin Blackwell before the game, didn't you? Speak about pride, passion, wanting to be able to hold your heads up high around Sheffield. It's a fine line, though. You can get too pumped. It can have negative effects. It's about getting the balance right here.
Kilgallen won the header. He was being pushed in mid-air as he did so. Sheffield Wednesday are unbeaten in 11 games at Hillsborough, going all the way back to March, despite a few calamities on the road this season.
Stark contrast, isn't it? Home and away form for Sheffield Wednesday.
Captain Wood winning the header. He missed the 4-0 defeat at Plymouth. Now there looks like a foul right on the edge. Quinn, the player who's brought down, and an early chance here for Sheffield United.
Wow. Just nips in ahead, doesn't he, Stephen Quinn? Nips the ball away. I think it's O'Connor, is it, coming in from behind? It is, that trips him, catches him. We all know what James Beattie did in the fixture at Bramall Lane at the end of last season. Scored a rasping free kick.
In the 85th minute to prevent Sheffield Wednesday doing the double over United for the first time since 1914. Doesn't look like Beattie is going to take it. They're going to leave this, by the look of it, to the new boy, Brian Howard's left foot. Well, what a start this would be for him in a Sheffield United shirt. Into the wall from Howard, back in by Cottrell, blocked again by Sheffield Wednesday. The flag's up, the pressure's off.
Well, the only thing you can think really is perhaps they just felt it was a little bit too close for James Beattie's power. Brian Howard goes hard and low. It's refreshing to see the wall doing its job, and then Kilgallen is straight offside.
By the way, neither side has named a goalkeeper among the substitutes. Kilgallen will have to go in goal for Sheffield United should they get an injury, and Tudgay, the striker for Sheffield Wednesday. Neither have done the job before, except on a training ground.
I'll tell you what, neither of them will be wanting to do the job today here for the first time, I can guarantee you that.
It's always just a bit of a gamble, but the managers have both taken it. And Steve Watson. Kilgallen getting it away. It's one in the air by Wood. They're glad to have the skipper back in the centre of defence after his slight injury. Play on, says the referee. He won the header. Now here's the first touch for Johnson, who had such a big game in this fixture a year ago.
Not half he did. He ran Sheffield United's defence ragged last season. And I think that's why, one of the reasons that Brian Laws has brought him back into this team today. Real threat down this side.
They're playing him on the left this time. It's an early corner here for Wednesday. They have a bit of swagger about them. That goes a long way. It only needed a touch. They all missed it, including Ugo Ehiogu.
Wow. Nobody takes a gamble that Ugo's going to miss this. They all expect him to get it. A couple of Sheffield United players go for the ball, completely miss it. And well, it was there for the taking, wasn't it? For Tudgay.
Played forward by Naismith. Going for Cottrell to chase on that side, and he can't quite keep it in. There's a confidence about Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. They expect to get results here, and strangely they've only let in 2 goals here all season and 16 on the road. I don't think Brian Laws can quite understand it either. Here's Cottrell. Away by Steve Watson, like Gary Speed, another Premier League veteran of old. Steve Watson has been around, played in North East derbies, Merseyside derbies, a Black Country derby as well in his West Brom days. Players know what this means to the 2 sets of fans. Norton with the long throw in.
James O'Connor, isn't it? very, very bravely gets up and clears that as Howard goes right into the back of him. You're right, both sets of players really know what this fixture is all about. It's interesting as well, Kevin Blackwell, he wasn't the manager for this fixture last season, but he did make reference to the disappointing defeat they suffered here. Well aware of it.
Ehiog was beaten in the air by Burton.
They've got two lads up front that aren't the biggest, Sheffield Wednesday, but they've got really good springs, both decent players in the air.
It's Tommy Spur. This is the player who's made the very quick recovery from injury to play in this one. And that's flicked on. Watson wins it for Wednesday. O'Connor wants to take over. Here he is, playing in his first derby, as is McAllister over on that side. Beavers forward, the 18-year-old. And it's young Kyle Norton who gets it away, the young Sheffield United fan, getting his first taste of this fixture. As a player, that is. He's watched it a few times. O'Connor. Johnson. Spur. Good looking ball in. O'Connor again! Still not away. Tudgate was waiting and lurking. And the referee has seen an offence and given that to Sheffield United, but real panic there in the Blades defence.
Oh yeah, they work it so well, it doesn't get cleared, and that's the chance for James O'Connor. Kilgallen does well, and that's where Mike Dean gives a free kick. Tudgay's foot is very, very high, but O'Connor, what an opportunity. Tries to curl it into that far corner, and Matt Kilgallen stands up ever so well for his team. Makes sure he keeps his hands by his side as well.
Flicked away by McMahon. Kilgallen is quickly on the scene, a player who played with Kevin Blackwell in his Leeds days. Very strong looking squad Sheffield United have when everybody's fit. Plenty of depth about it.
There is good options on the bench as well.
Hugo Ehiog's come forward from the back for this. They've gone short with Gary Speed. It's played towards Ehiog. Delivery not quite right. Tudgate was the striker who got it away. Talked to Brian Laws beforehand. He said we're expecting a lot of aerial bombardment. We'll have our helmets on. Dion Burton's done well there, very well. Here's O'Connor again, showing up right early on to Jermaine Johnson. This is the Jamaican winger. And they know all about his threat.
He had options inside, he had two or three blue and white stripe teammates in support of him, just chose the wrong option perhaps.
Beavers won the header, Spur helping it on. Frantic pace, fierce commitment, just as you'd expect, but a bit of room here for Marcus Tudgate. Good ball towards Burton. There's a hand in there from Ehiog. The Sheffield Wednesday fans thought so, but none of the players appealed.
No, he's a big, strong lad. Hugo Ehiog used his body very, very well there. See the danger away.
Watson. Been switched into central midfield. He can play there just as easily, Steve Watson, today.
Oh, Dion Burton's good movement, isn't it? And then there's a coming together, but generally don't get penalties for that. I think it's a good decision by Mike Dean.
Another corner for Wednesday. Cottrell, one for Billy Sharp to chase down the line. really settled yet. The kind of fast 150-mile-an-hour start you'd expect in a game like this. And this strangely found its way to Johnson on this side. Chance for him to run. Norton did ever so well. Watched the ball, nicked it away. But Wednesday got it back again, and here's O'Connor.
He gets a lot of power in the strike, James O'Connor. As this ball breaks, again, Norton stands up to the test of Johnson well, but Sheffield United then dwell on the ball and it breaks. It's a decent strike, but it is way too high. Can't quite keep this ball down.
Well, both the managers were involved in a local radio phone-in this week, which got very lively, I'm told. They're good mates, but the banter was terrific listening, I'm told. Both of them really hyping up the game like it needed it.
Well, they are passionate fellas, aren't they?
Wood is penalised. Free kick, Sheffield United.
Well, they got away with one identical earlier. Perhaps Mike Dean sees the hands on the shoulder.
Wood, who played for Wednesday, when they were in the third tier a few seasons ago. It wasn't so long ago they were regulars in the Premier League when they used to have Mark Wright and Chris Waddle and Des Walker around here. Kilgallen. Ehiog is a target, so's Beattie, neither won it. But I think that's going to be a feature of the game, isn't it? These set pieces, looking for these big men.
Absolutely. There have been so many stoppages, free kicks. Both teams have got players that can really throw the ball long and into the box, and here's another one coming up.
Norton's long throw towards Ehiog. Watson just got something on that, did he? Yeah, it is a corner. Sheffield Wednesday rather cutely ran away, wanting the goal kick, but I think Watson knew he'd flick that.
Well, does Gary Speed get close to getting on the end of that?
And is one of these corners or free kicks going to produce a headed goal anytime soon? We've had a lot of them already. Look at Norton here. Freedom of the penalty area, the right back. So not a bad effort at all. That was on target, blocked of course.
Well, they're going to have to be sharper than that defensively, Sheffield Wednesday. That is straight off the training ground. Very well worked.
Naismith and Johnson in a little flare-up. Something and nothing really. We could feel the venom and hostility when we got off the coach, said Kevin Blackwell. We could hear it as well.
I'm sure he wouldn't have expected anything less.
Absolutely. Here's Johnson again. Double back marking, he did ever so well there. Back to Spur, it's not the best ball from the youngster.
Another strong challenge there, isn't it? I think Gary Naismith comes off second best as he comes through. It's the clearance, isn't it? And then they clash knees.
Tudgay was a lovely flick to Burton, and Watson wouldn't quite sit down for him to volley it in the way he wanted.
That's what it's been so far, hasn't it? The opening 15 minutes.
Steve Watson, I was to say Steve Watson, sorry Don, scored a Premier League hat-trick, didn't he, once, I remember, for Everton?
He did, yeah. He's been such a versatile player over the years, hasn't he?
Wood had to win that. It's a free kick to Wednesday anyway. A huge cheer, by the way, before the match when Atko Soje was announced among the Wednesday substitutes. He got 2 in his only appearance of the season, injured on the opening day against Burnley, been unfit ever since, but he's waiting in reserve. Play on, says the referee. Quinn was fouled, but United had the ball. Good advantage. Cotterill. Howard. Wood's having none of it, is he? There's free kick, Sheffield United though.
Well, I don't don't think anybody in the ground expected a free kick to be given there. Well, he's just shepherding the ball. I can't see anything that he's done wrong there whatsoever. Remarkable.
No, it is a throw. He's not given a free kick. Thought for a moment he'd given a free kick for that, which would have been a bit of a nonsense. You're right, Don.
Well, even the throw-ins are getting big cheers. That's what it means to everybody.
A 2-week break for the internationals has worked well for Sheffield Wednesday, because it's enabled them to get a lot of players fit. But these clubs in the Championship have 5 games coming up in the next couple of weeks now, with a flurry of midweek games. Mistake there, and this is fed wide for Jermaine Johnson, and he's wasted it. Set up beautifully by O'Connor.
Oh, that's the best opening by far of the game, isn't it? Again, it comes from Sheffield United. Messing about on the ball, really. O'Connor does ever so well, and that is where you can tell that Jermaine Johnson is a right-footed player predominantly. Super chance. This is a really poor effort. Got to be hitting the target from there.
Big chance. It's gone begging.
You can see already attempts are racking up.
Watson didn't win it cleanly. Stephen Quinn helps it on to Billy Sharp. On the turn, just needed half a yard of space, Billy Sharp.
Well, that's all he needs, isn't it? A really proven track record. Very sharp in that box. He does get shots in when really he hasn't got any right to.
Norton's long ball, you could see what he was trying to do, pick up Billy Sharp's run. Tutgay with the chest down. Spur cut out by Gary Speed, who just lost control of it temporarily. Burton won it back. Here's Johnson. We'll get a corner.
Oh, well, he's done well. This is turning into an epic battle down this side of the field, isn't it, between Johnson and Norton. Sheffield United haven't been particularly convincing defending these corners.
Need the right delivery. It's very deep. Tutgay was attacking it on that back post. It was Naismith who won it.
It was an important header as well by Naismith. Marcus Tutgay was steaming in at the far post.
The game being played with a constant soundtrack of a cacophony of noise from both sets of fans. Tutgay really got hold of that. Important block. Spur plays it back in again.
I don't understand how any striker can get a volley from a corner in a penalty area. You really have to do an awful lot to find that space, and that's a bit concerning for Sheffield United.
Here at home, Sheffield Wednesday have beaten Burnley 4-1, Watford 2-0, Nottingham Forest 1-0. They drew 0-0 with Ipswich and 1-1 with Preston, but nobody's won here this season yet. Sharp looking to help it on. Beavers getting it away for Wednesday. Flack stays down. Sharp tried to stand it up for Howard, and it didn't quite work out. But Sheffield Wednesday were just caught out there. They were looking for the flag, and it didn't arrive.
Well, it's a super run, isn't it? Bends his run, look, and he stays onside. That's brilliant running by Billy Sharp. And he does the only thing he can really do, and that stands the ball up at the far post. The only surprise is that James Beattie isn't the man going round the back to get on the end of that.
Sharp, who's already equaled last year's tally for the whole season. He got 4 last season. He's already on 4 for this, and he's Sheffield United's top scorer so far. Kilgallen with the clearance. O'Connor did well. Spur 2. McAllister playing it inside. O'Connor, nicely done. Tudgay and Burton working well together. Nearly fell for Steve Watson. Not quite. That was thanks to a very good challenge by Naismith, who did an important job there for Sheffield United at the back. Cotterill raiding down the right-hand side here. No, not like that.
That's a disappointing end. Attacks the fullback very, very well. Once he gets this ball, Cotterill drives at Spur, knocks it past him, just doesn't wrap his foot around it to keep that ball in play.
He's a player with something to prove as well, isn't he, Don? Really, it didn't work out for him really in the Premier League at Wigan, did it?
No, it didn't. He'll be pleased to be at a big championship club like Sheffield United, and he'll be hoping for another crack at the Premier League with them.
Tudgay, he's full of clever little touches, drops deep occasionally.
Jermaine Johnson's gone over to the right-hand side now, hasn't he? Switch sides, going to have a go at Gary Naismith.
Well, he certainly looked more effective, played out there in this game last season, didn't he, on the right?
I seem to remember him seeing a lot of the ball last season, and he used it very, very well. Seen quite a bit of the ball in the early parts of this match, perhaps made the wrong decision on 1 or 2 occasions.
He's done a lot of flying this week. He's with the Jamaican World Cup squad in the Caribbean. Didn't play, though, against Honduras on Wednesday, and just a few minutes against Mexico last weekend, so should be okay, especially for a game like this. Who doesn't want to play in this? Well, typical piece of Gary's speed work on the volley. You've seen him score them in the past.
There you have. He's got it in the locker to at least hit the target. Comes flying in. Maybe Stephen Quinn doesn't help him. Gets in the way.
He's scored in each of the last 20 seasons, Gary Speed. 39 years old. Ehiog. Hit the hand of Tudgay, but referee said play on. It's a bit like the Premier League back catalogue out there with Watson and Speed and Ehiog in action, isn't it? BT2, I suppose.
Yeah, they're all still hungry.
Yep. And BT will be thinking he can return to the Premier League with Sheffield United. Norton. Clever little ball on the outside of the ball. Beautifully played that for Cotterill. Oh, and that could have been an own goal by Beavers. As it was, he was very grateful to see that go into the crowd behind the goal.
Well, he'll be so relieved. What about this for a run and a ball? It's a superb ball. Doesn't have to break stride. Cotterill whips it in the danger area. And Beavers has got to deal with it. And he gets lucky. I'm pretty sure he's trying to knock it wide of the goal. Ends up going over the middle of the goal.
He might have had trouble living that down because he got an own goal in the last game at Plymouth, didn't he, as well? Not his fault, I hasten to add that one. It just hit him and ricocheted crazily into the net, but that might have been a different story. Yet another set piece. Now then, Mike Dean's got a very close eye on all of this. And this is where this idea somebody's got about having a referee, an official behind the goal looking at all this might come in handy. Goalie's come for that. Is good punch. It's played back in there by Cotterill. Still not away. Howard deflected. Wondered for a moment if that was going to creep in, didn't you?
Well, that deflection could have been crucial, couldn't it? Again, they don't deal with it too well, Sheffield Wednesday. They don't clear their lines there. As Howard strikes this, well, it could really wrong foot Lee Grant in the goal. Goes one way, dives back.
Beattie scored direct from a header in the last game against Bristol City. He's in there sniffing. Kilgallen's up from the back as well. really away yet by Sheffield Wednesday. Now it is with Watson. Stephen Quinn. Played in towards Sharp. At times it's almost got the atmosphere of rollerball out there, this at the moment. That old crash, bang, wallop movie. There's certainly no shortage of excitement. Howard won it back. He's entered right into the spirit of things straight away in his first start for Sheffield United. Sharp plays it in. Here's Quinn. What a tackle that was from McMahon. Away by McAllister. Then Watson. Speed. Naismith's cross. So far they haven't managed to find the head of James Beattie. When they do, it could spell trouble for Wednesday.
It could.
Ooh. Well, Kilgallen involved there in that challenge with McAllister, and it's a red card. He's off. Straight away, didn't like the height of the challenge. Kevin Blackwell is furious, and Sheffield United are down to 10 men.
Well, that is a big decision by Mike Dean. Not for 1 second did I envisage seeing the colour red coming out of Mike Dean's pocket there. I thought it was a certain yellow. The boot is high. You see it often, don't you? He's fully committed, he goes, he's late. Does he catch Beavers in the back? That's maybe the reason Mike Dean... But it's a split second, isn't it? I have to say, I think he's a little bit unlucky. I think Mike Dean thinks it's malicious. I didn't think it was. James Beattie can't believe it, but they're thrilled.
Well, the Wednesday fans are celebrating the red card like it's a goal. It was, I suppose, a borderline decision for Mike Dean. He just didn't like the height of the studs. He did catch McAllister in the back.
Yeah, he did. He must be absolutely certain that Kilgallen was going in with intent there and maliciously wanting to hurt. I think it was Beavers, wasn't it?
McAllister.
Yeah. But he was involved in 2 tackles, Matt Kilgallen. And this is the first one. He comes through. And because he hasn't got the ball, he wants to go and hunt it. And that's the second one. It's a high boot. And Mike Dean deems that that is malicious.
Well, Mike Dean was the referee on the day Sheffield United were relegated from the Premier League against Wigan. He might not be their favourite official, I think.
Well, as I say, the gut instinct was it was harsh.
And in the tactical reefing that follows that, Dave Cottrell has to surrender his place in the derby. Not his fault. And Chris Morgan, the experienced defender, enters the fray. And fray it is at the moment.
Well, take a deep breath.
Shaking his head. And that changes it completely, doesn't it? Sheffield United down to 10. And the challenges were flying in, and it's a ferocious kind of fixture. And there's an argument for saying that maybe the referee has to make some allowance for that, or debate, does he simply apply the laws of the game as he does every week? Mike Dean didn't like it, showed a red card.
Yes, you're right. It's big decision. I have to say, I'm really not sure. Difficult job being a referee. And they're still arguing about it.
Was it just a spirited challenge from Kilgallen, or was there some malice?
Well, only Matt Kilgallen can answer that question. I just expected to see yellow.
There's no doubt of one thing, Don, it was an illegal challenge.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that changes the strategic battle lines, doesn't it? Completely. Meanwhile, here's Brian Howard. We've got 3 left-footers in that midfield, Sheffield United. Howard is one of them. Played deep, and Ehiok with the header. He probably should have scored.
I think you're probably right. He should have scored. I mean, it's so simple. There's not a lot of movement. He gets to the wrong side of his marker. Having got there, 6 yards out, you would expect Big Hugo to hit the target and score from there. Acres of space, poor defending, but it's a poor attempt.
Any downward header is in, isn't it, there?
It's in, yeah, any downward header. The pace of the free kick and the delivery was excellent from Howard. And he'll be very disappointed.
Ehiok's last goal was in a derby for Rangers against Celtic, a spectacular one too, as I remember.
Well, it just proves that the sending off, Sheffield United are still going to be in this game. Set pieces. The crowd cheered, didn't they? Felt it was like scoring a goal when Kilgallen was sent off. I think that Ehiok chance has just served as a warning to them.
So they're left playing just about the last hour of the game with 10 here, Sheffield United. And Wednesday take advantage. Spur plays it in. Ehiok getting it away. Took a deflection on the way through off a Sheffield United head, that one.
Well, I'm thinking it's confidence, ambition to take the strike on from there. Shows real confidence, and it gets a deflection.
Tony McMahon, wasn't it? The right back.
Yeah, it's a good hit.
Can Sheffield Wednesday rub salt into the wound here with the corner kick? Well, they won the header in mid-aisle with Dion Burton there.
Oh, I said before, the 2 strikers, Tudgay and Burton, they're very good in the air. Gets up really well. And again, he's going to be disappointed actually having got himself into that position. He doesn't get the full contact that he's after, Dion Burton.
Coming up later on today, can Tottenham get off the mark and get off the bottom? They're away to Stoke City. A fascinating game that, isn't it? 3:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD 1 from the Premier League. Live here, Steel City derby from a packed Hillsborough.
Well, the one thing Sheffield United are is very, very well organised as a team. Joint best defence in the league. They're going to need to show all of those defensive qualities.
Watson feeds it wide. Here is McMahon. In towards O'Connor. The goalkeeper had to win that with his punch. He did so. Thought for a moment the little midfield player was going to get there first. Beavers. The goalkeeper came, didn't get it. Watson! He's going to score! Steve Watson for Sheffield Wednesday! Massive mistake in the Sheffield United defence. Paddy Kenny in a big, big inquest with Chris Morgan, his defender. Emptied it, and Steve Watson, the old soldier, has done it for Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, I'll tell you what, he makes this look ever so easy, but that's it. Paddy Kenny comes to punch and doesn't get there. And that is a very, very clever finish from Steve Watson. He recognises Kenny's out of his goal. The defenders are away from the goal, and he just helps it back in and over everybody's head. That's a brilliant, brilliant goal from Steve Watson.
And Kenny and Morgan almost came to blows, I think, in the inquest following that. Who was right, Don?
Well, Paddy Kenny had come just before that and not got there. And he came again. He'll say he called, he shouted, keeper's ball. Very, very difficult at the last minute as a central defender to pull your head out of that. I have to say, they're still arguing.
Hillsborough is absolutely rocking at the moment. The Sheffield Wednesday fans are having a party. It's all going wrong for Sheffield United. Down to 10 men, and now self-inflicted wound. They've conceded, but how well taken was that by Steve Watson?
Absolutely cool as ice it was, wasn't it? All of his experience over the years. Didn't panic, recognised the situation, and applied the finish.
Morgan won that header. course, Chris Morgan, the player, has come on as the player brought on after Kilgallen had been shown the red card. Jermaine Johnson. Now Kenny, there's maybe a little bit of the indecision still there, came for that, and in the end he realised, I think, it was going beyond him. Goodness me.
I'll tell you what, he's got a few nervy moments to come as well, because if you're Sheffield Wednesday, you want more confusion, more of the same. You're going to get that ball in the box and test Paddy Kenny's resolve out.
7 minutes between the red card and the Sheffield Wednesday goal. Has he got the Midas touch in these Sheffield derbies? Brian Laws, a win and a draw last season, and 1-0 up today against 10 men. He'll be kicking himself and his players, I think, if they blow it from here.
Well, he will. In a fantastic situation, but they've got to see the job through. There's a long way to go yet.
And there might be a bit of danger here. Beavers under some pressure from Ehiog. He did well. I really think a lot of this teenager at Sheffield Wednesday. I know Everton have looked at him in the past.
Shows such maturity, doesn't he, for one so young. Big, strong defender. And play as well.
And Sheffield United bites back. Difficult one, that, for the goalkeeper. Out to Stephen Quinn. Decent effort. Back in again by Howard. Bit of a misunderstanding. Naismith not quite sure where Kenny was, but the goalkeeper was in the right place that time, if not the previous one.
Oh yeah. Big test, isn't it? Sheffield United now, goal down, like you say, 10 men.
Morton's throws towards Billy Sharp. I mean, even down to 10 men, Sheffield United are still going to be dangerous, at least from all these set pieces, aren't they?
Well, they are. I think they've already shown that on a couple of occasions since the sending off. Hugo Ehiog, well, he might kick himself a little bit. He should have put Sheffield United in front prior to Sheffield Wednesday's goal.
Lost 2 of their last 3 away matches as well, Sheffield United, at Derby and Norwich. They won on the road last time at Doncaster. This is going to be much harder now.
We've got to commend them as well. They've left the 2 strikers on, and they are playing up top as well, the 2 strikers. It's not like he's pulled one of them back into midfield to try and play 4-4-1. Still going for it.
Spur won the header. And it's worth remembering that Kevin Blackwell really did lead a big recovery from Sheffield United last season. They only finished, what was it, 4 points off the playoffs in the end, having languished just below halfway for most of the time, and a bit lower than that at one point. Yeah, so I think you've got a bit about them, haven't they, under Kevin Blackwell?
Finished the season really strongly.
Norton throws this one in. Ehiog's header away. Johnson back on the left-hand side. Twinkle-toed talent. The ball was won, says the referee, but no, he didn't like the studs, I don't think, of O'Connor. That was the thing there. And he's got a yellow card for showing them, even though I think he won the ball.
Oh, I think he came through the back of young Norton. He's got protecting the ball. The referee, Mike Dean, sees the contact.
So he'll have to watch his step for the rest of the, well, lunchtime, I suppose, afternoon.
Well, he does play that way. He's aggressive, James O'Connor. He does make tackles.
Norton plays it long. It's away by McAllister. He was the player involved in the Kilgallen challenge, which led to the red card. Chris Morgan won the header. It's picked up here by McAllister, a youngster who's come through the ranks at Sheffield Wednesday and getting his big breakthrough really this season. Of a regular run in the side. Been pushed a little wider today, McAllister on that right-hand side. He usually plays in the centre.
They have got some tricky wingers at Sheffield Wednesday, but clearly Brian Laws doesn't trust playing them both at the same time, or two of the three of them anyway. Wants a more solid unit in that midfield area.
Here is McAllister.
I just feel like every decision's going against them, Sheffield United. Naismith this time. It's a very soft free kick.
What Sheffield United can't afford here is to let in another one before the break, when they can go in, have a little chat about it, and maybe reorganise. It's taken quickly. Beavers with the header, and that was a massive opportunity for the 18-year-old defender.
Well, purely and simply, it's cleverly worked. He's taken quickly, finds himself the space, doesn't make the contact that he needs. Glorious opportunity, and he knows it. He's got to score.
He's never scored a league goal yet either, Beavers. One goal he did score was in the FA Cup. Beattie with the head on. We haven't seen a lot of James Beattie so far. Naismith towards Sharp. Quinn. There's a little bit of a luxury touch really from Quinn on that occasion. Easily cut out by Sheffield Wednesday. Very tenacious and gritty, and at home pretty miserly in defence. Mistake really by Morgan. He's allowed Tudgay in. Dion Burton waiting in the middle. Goes a long way. Oh, and off the shin of Ehiog for a corner.
Well, he makes something out of nothing here, doesn't he? Marcus Tudgay steals the ball off Chris Morgan and drives into the corner. It's a decent cross. And Hugo Ehiog, well, he makes a mess of the clearance.
Steve Watson with the corner. Speed, who's so good in the air, in forward positions and defensive ones, predictably won the header. Just wonder whether Sheffield United might call on their new arrival from Sunderland, Anthony Stokes, in the second half. They have to be odds on that at the moment if it stays like this.
You would think so. They need to get themselves into the last 20 minutes of this game, still in the game. And if they do that, I'm pretty sure Kevin Blackwell will throw caution to the wind.
Spur gets it away. Speed's header forward. Sharp went to the ground and looked very, very hopefully at the referee, but nothing doing. He might have been alone in thinking there was any chance of a penalty there.
I think he was.
Three minutes of added time at the end of the half. Beattie's the target this time. He does win the header. Goalkeeper came for it. Sharp got his head to that, and Wood blocked it and had to block it as well.
Oh, that's brilliant defending, I have to tell you. I think Billy Sharp managed to wrap his foot around this, and he was hooking the ball into the net there. Super defending, stays strong, comes off his head.
Just as well Richard Wood was there. Is there going to be a little sting right at the end of the half here? Norton, what a clever touch again. Howard He's really overhit that, but he did get 14 from midfield for Barnsley last season, Brian Howard.
Yeah, he is a goal scorer in midfield. That again, the ball doesn't get cleared, does it? And this is a brilliant touch by Norton. The awareness to pick out Howard. Very, very ambitious attempt, though.
Well, he's got an important half-time team talk to deliver, but you could probably say that about every manager every week, really, couldn't you?
I reckon that's where they earn their money, managers. Half-time.
Miscue by Ehiog has caused a bit of a problem. Tommy Spurs done well there. Now Jermaine Johnson. Beautifully pulled back, and so nearly a second goal from the arriving O'Connor.
Right, brilliant, brilliant wing play by Jermaine Johnson. Drives for the line. This is a fantastic cross. And when O'Connor gets there, he's just trying to guide it inside that far corner. Just can't do it. It's another great opportunity for Sheffield Wednesday. You do feel if they get the next goal, it could prove terminal for Sheffield United in this match.
He was a whisker away there, wasn't he, James O'Connor, who's done well since arriving after being released by Burnley in the summer. Got something to prove, and maybe proving it too. And here's Johnson with a lot of space. It's Johnson! Couldn't keep it down. And wider, McMahon is saying, why, oh why, didn't you give me the ball in space?
Well, McMahon's going mad, and unless this ball nestles in the top corner, he's got every right. Look at him arriving on the right-hand side. Confident, isn't he? Just got a brilliant crossing literally minutes before.
Naismith. Here's Billy Sharp. A point from this fixture now, you feel, for Sheffield United would be absolute gold dust. Unless, of course, we've got another red card coming up from somewhere. There is half-time. The Sheffield Wednesday fans are the ones celebrating. Huge mistake, really. Paddy Kenny and Chris Morgan, his defender. Real mix-up between those two. They left the net empty. And Steve Watson came up with his second goal of the season for Sheffield Wednesday. Beautifully taken. They lead 1-0 at half-time in the Steel City derby. Not really quite enough talking points in that first half, were there, Dom?
Typical derby, eh? Dear, oh dear. Well, he'll be pleased, won't he, Brian Lord, with the first half. Needs his team to see the job through now.
No changes at half-time. But there might be if it carries on like this for too much longer. And Sheffield Wednesday in their blue and white stripes, looking to keep hold of their unbeaten home record this season, one that goes all the way back to March, remember. It's the best run they've had since David Pleat was the manager here in the early 1990s.
There's no doubt about it. They've been very, very impressive here at Hillsborough, back end of last season and the start of this season.
And Gary Speed is getting booked, presumably, for dissent. He'd been chipping away at the referee about the big decision, the red card, and maybe he just spoke out of turn once too often.
Well, it has to be that, doesn't it? Mike Dean pointing to his mouth. Book Gary Speed for dissent.
Within a matter of seconds of the second half starting. Sharp going down and getting a free kick here. I think Sheffield Wednesday, I'm sure Brian Laws will have spoken about it at half-time, will have to watch that the ref might not be looking to even up the red count. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but it sometimes does.
It's your duty to warn the players, isn't it? Those that have been booked. James O'Connor. The other thing he'll have said is not to give any silly free kicks away, and that's precisely what's just happened. And this is more in James Beattie's range.
Well, this would really shake it up, wouldn't it, if Beattie was to strike here to get Sheffield United back level. And it's hit the wall, not the right elevation. It's his 50th appearance, by the way, today for Sheffield United. He's already delivered 25 goals. Beattie heads it down. Misunderstanding with the goalkeeper. It was flicked away in the nick of time there by McMahon.
Yeah, he has to react, doesn't he, McMahon, and recognises the danger and helps it over. It's good defending in the end.
And this is where Sheffield United do have big chances. They can push men forward here from these set pieces. Howard to take it. And couldn't get anyone on the end of it. Johnson has switched out to the right-hand side again for Sheffield Wednesday. He's been alternating between right and left flanks. Sharp tries to lay it inside. Steve Watson, who apart from his goal has had a really good game in that Sheffield Wednesday midfield. His experience vital. There'll be more work to do. Broken for Stephen Quinn here. Nobody on that near post.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity, isn't it? A really good ball into there. Didn't happen for him.
Ehiog is penalised. Remarkably, Sheffield United have never lost when Ehiog's been in the team. 17 games. And that record is definitely under threat here. Tony McMahon.
Well, that time they did get the communication right, didn't they? Clear shout from Paddy Kenny.
It's Kyle Norton, the impressive young right back who's shown up well in this game so far with some natty touches, particularly in attacking areas.
He looks a really good prospect, doesn't he?
Never played in the Football League before this season. Had a spell at Gretna in Scotland, but that was it. But they always had a high regard for him, even when Brian Robson was the manager. Been at the club since he was 8 years old. So what a day for him, playing for the various age group teams. Stephen Quinn, now to Beattie. Good looking ball in. Oh, it nearly fell for Billy Sharp. What an important header that was from Richard Wood, the skipper.
Wow, he's just kept his team in front, hasn't he, Richard Wood?
Because if he hadn't touched it, Sharp had to score, you'd have thought.
Billy Sharp's eyes must have been lighting up as that ball was heading towards him.
He's offside here, Sharp.
Well, he didn't need to be either. He was on the shoulder of the last defender, and he went a little bit too quickly. We saw him bend his run in the first half to stay onside. If he'd have just done that there, he would have been in. But his eyes must have been lighting up as this ball was heading towards him. Just about to head it, and there's a little touch from Richard Wood.
Howard, making for Sheffield United. Quite a spirited start to the second half from them, Peepers, cutting that one out with Sharp looking to break in behind him, but far from being on the back foot here with 10 men. Sheffield United are giving it a right go at the start of the second half.
Well, they deserve a lot of credit, Kevin Blackwell and his backroom team, because, as I said, they've left the two strikers up, haven't gone in any way, shape or form defensive, and they're going for it.
And Tudgate, to make sure that his studs weren't showing there. Any player doing that these days is really taking his life into his hands. And they can't complain because they know the score.
Oh, it's a gamble, isn't it, when you jump in, leave the floor, studs showing.
Speed helping it on. Watson with a clever little header down to the industrious O'Connor. Now here's McMahon.
He had better options than the shot. The longer he delayed, the more it got closed down.
Steve Watson again. It's Tommy Spur. Gets the corner. Look at him conducting the orchestra of Sheffield Wednesday fans. I don't think they need much encouragement today.
Certainly don't, do they? No. Very, very vocal. Lots for them to get their teeth into and cheer today. The team are playing very well.
McAllister playing the 1-2 with Watson. Nicely done. The back heel. McAllister plays it in towards the back post. Nothing doing.
That was well worked, wasn't it? Straight off the training ground, just overhit the cross.
How to win with 10 men, or get anything from a game when you're behind with 10 men. I think Barnsley were 1-0 down against Doncaster, weren't they, this season with 10, and ended up winning it 4-1.
It was incredible because they hadn't scored in the previous 5 or 6 games, Barnsley. Rattled in 4 with 10 men, you're right. It can often be difficult, can't it? History shows.
But will those legs of the 10 men just start to tire in the last 10 minutes? A lot of chasing to do, extra chasing, because they're all having to do a bit more to stay afloat. There's Morgan getting it away to Sharp. Not quite what Spare intended. The thought occurs that, of course, Kilgallen was supposed to be the stand-in keeper if Paddy Kenny got injured, and he's been sent off, so goodness knows who does the job now.
An interesting one, wouldn't it?
Here's O'Connor. Goes down, and it's a penalty kick. Sheffield Wednesday get the penalty. Mike Dean was perfectly placed. Gary Speed with the challenge. He's already been booked, by the way. No further punishment, but Mike Dean sees this as a penalty.
Well, he's absolutely right. Gary Speed whips away the legs of James O'Connor, and it's a stone wall. A penalty as you're ever likely to see, and Mike Dean in a perfect position, and there aren't really any complaints from Sheffield United.
It's going to be taken by Dion Burton, who's gone 11 games without a goal. Can Paddy Kenny redeem himself here for the earlier error? Yes, he can. What a save. The referee, I think, thought for a moment there about whether Kenny had moved before the kick was taken. He had a good look at it, but he let it go.
Well, you're allowed to move, but he steps off his line, and by the letter of the law, that penalty should be being taken again. Don't often see it go punished. And Sheffield United are still in this game. Well, you couldn't write the script, really, could you?
Well, I think Mike Dean, just looking at him, was on the verge of making that kick be retaken. Yes, foul on Ehiog. Well, what a dramatic game this is turning out to be.
Well, yeah, big step forward, and he's a good yard off the line, narrows the angle. It's a great save. 99.9% of goalkeepers do it, and they can't believe it, Sheffield Wednesday fans. What a chance for Dion Burton to wrap the game up.
That could be a big, big moment. And poor old Dion Burton's goal drought goes on. It's going to haunt him a bit, missing one in a derby. Naismith. Speed. It might lift Sheffield United too. They've got off the hook a bit there. Beattie. And to be fair to Mike Dean, absolutely no doubt about the penalty decision, as you saw.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Oh, it's another decision. It's a yellow card.
He's pleading his innocence, isn't he, Jermaine Johnson?
Yeah.
Norton leads with his arm, and that's what catches Norton across the head. And if he thinks that's deliberate, Could easily have been a red card, couldn't it?
Well, that was pretty marginal too. That was yellow fringing red, possibly for Jermaine Johnson on another day, as they say.
You can only say he was on the blind side of Mike Dean.
That's the question. Was that a worse challenge than the one by Kilgallen with his feet?
Well, it's all open to interpretation, isn't it? It's all about the opinion of the individual.
Well, they could go on till midnight around the pubs and clubs of Sheffield talking about this game later on. They still won't have covered every issue. This up for grabs here. There's a change going to be made here. Danny Webb, who lost his place in the starting lineup today. And it's going to be Billy Sharp who makes way.
Substitution for our visitors this afternoon, number 24.
Well, it's like for like, isn't it? Danny Webber, a similar kind of a player to Billy Sharp.
Quite a versatile player, can play centrally or wider. Here's O'Connor, meanwhile, with Dion Burton waiting in the middle. 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday, but their first real setback in the game, missing the penalty. Paddy Kenny took the gamble of coming off his line, narrowed the angle, didn't get penalised for it. Away by Gary Speed. Wood plays it in, nearly fell for Burton, who was just trying to get his bearings in relation to the ball. Beattie, lovely header into Brian Howard. Didn't quite get the ball right to release Webber. Here's Speed. Howard once again, ball inside the fullback for Beattie.
Well, they were the nearly men there, weren't they? Sheffield United, a couple of occasions. First of all, they nearly got Danny Webber in, and then they nearly got James Beattie in. But Jermaine Johnson, in the midst of this, big elbow, isn't it, to the side of Norton's head as he closes him down. It's so late. The ball is long gone, and look where Mike Dean is. He can't see that heavy contact. He's blocked out. Maybe the linesman could have given him a little bit of help there.
McAllister driving into the box, dispossessed by Ehiog.
I'll tell you what, nobody can accuse it of being a dull Sheffield derby, can they? Incident-packed, action-packed, and still delicately poised.
Somewhere Roy Hattersley and Sean Bean and all those famous Sheffield fans are watching this with different allegiances, of course. Beattie. Speed. Naismith. It's up towards Beattie. Great leap from James Beattie. He really hung in the air there beautifully.
Well, that's what James Beattie's all about, isn't it? Great diagonal ball, and watch the way he really attacks it. Gets up so well. Just can't loop that over Lee Grant and into that far corner. It's a super effort.
Almost seemed to defy gravity for a moment, didn't he?
He just hung in the air, didn't he?
3 goals in his last 3 matches. Getting fitter all the time. He missed pre-season because of a knee problem. Free kick to Wednesday. It's cut and thrust here.
Well, it is. And you can see, look at that. Very, very evenly matched in terms of attempts and attempts on target. Super game it's been.
Watson to chip it up towards Tudgay, who won the header! Oh, and Ehiog just did enough to stop Richard Wood from turning that in.
Well, it's brilliant defending. Look at the movement right round the back. Tudgay again, super leap, knocks it down, and Ehiog really excels here. Reads where that's going to go and gets himself in there and clears the danger.
didn't get to it quite. Johnson, cross shot, blocked on the way through. Here's Johnson again. Teasing run, corner kick. He's had another lively game. Now, some who might say they'd probably be wearing red and white, most of them, that he should have been sent off, but it certainly was up for debate.
Well, he's been involved in that controversy, but he has had a good game and he's lively.
O'Connor with the corner, and the header just past the post. Goodness me, Tudgate.
It's a good ball in. He gets up so well, he just can't divert it on target. Gets up there, Marcus Tudgate, under a bit of pressure, but it's another chance and leaves you wondering, doesn't it? They are having so many chances, Sheffield Wednesday, but they can't just see the game off yet.
Sheffield Wednesday, who can move above Sheffield United if it stays like this, into 5th place in the table. Burton, flag from the linesman there. Might have been a bit of hand in there.
Yeah, I think that's what he spotted. Linked up very well, haven't they, Tudgate and Burton? This time Tudgate again knocks it down. Dion Burton's arm is the part of his anatomy that pushes that past Hugo Ehiogu. It's a good decision.
Dion Burton once voted the Jamaican Sports Personality of the Year ahead of the great fast bowler Courtney Walsh. He was that big for the Reggae Boys at one time.
Well, they had that golden period, didn't they? And he was a part of it, Dion Burton.
Debates going on the Wednesday bench about possible substitutions. Atko Soje, who's returned to training this week after his long injury absence, could be introduced. Nicely done by Burton. Here's Jermaine Johnson. Beautiful piece of wing play. Not quite the delivery, but there was real twinkle toes, old-fashioned right-wing skills.
Well, he's on fire at the moment, isn't he? Tricks and pace, and that's a great ball. It deserves being attacked, doesn't it? Nobody really gets in there other than Tudgate.
Wednesday have been on a reasonable little run despite that defeat at Plymouth last time out. They've won the previous 2 matches. They've been a pretty good fist of things this season after their struggles last year when they were really in the relegation argument till very late on. They won their last 2 to put it to bed, didn't they?
They did. Well, they'd lost their first 6 games of the season, and when that happens, you know you're going to be in a bit of a dogfight. Stark contrast this season for Sheffield Wednesday. Started very, very brightly.
Danny Webber, surely pushed in the back. No, looked like it from McMahon. Howard, Stephen Quinn. Now, by all football logic, this is a game that Sheffield Wednesday should win. 1-0 up against 10 men, but it doesn't always quite work out like that. And Stephen Quinn, lively little character.
When you've got 10 men, you can't afford to give the ball away like that, Stephen Quinn.
Speed to Kyle Norton. Instant control from the youngster. It's still Norton. So it would have been some story if he'd come up with the equaliser.
Oh, not off. Shows good feet, good skill and good control. What about that, the way he pulls the ball out of the air? Gets the defender backed up, cuts inside. It's a weak shot in the end.
Well, here's Sheffield United debut for Anthony Stokes to replace a man who was making his first start for the club today, Brian Howard. Been made permanent for £500,000 in January. It's all been agreed, and on comes Stokes, who arrived on Friday from Sunderland, where he has scored a couple of times this season. Has it? But the referee's blowing his whistle here.
It looks like Anthony Stokes is going to play on the left side of a three-man midfield, pushing forward.
Listen to the Wednesday fans here now. The return of one of their heroes around here, Apko Soje, the Nigerian striker. He's been out since the opening day of the season when he scored twice against Burnley in a 4-1 win. He scored in this game last year as well. And off comes Jermaine Johnson. He's shaking his head, Johnson, as well. I think he wanted to stay out there. He was quite enjoying himself on that right side. Oh, there's a bit of a bust up there with Johnson and one of the Wednesday coaching staff as he came off the pitch.
Well, he's fuming. He's absolutely fuming at being brought off, but you can't react like that.
Burton in a challenge with Morgan. Soje is offside. Morgan is still down after that clash with Dion Burton.
Well, they've been a handful in the air all afternoon. Burton and Tudgay, there's the coming together, and just strayed half a yard offside. That's where he gets an arm in the face, doesn't he, Chris Morgan? That's what Mike Dean blows for, but Ryan Law brings Jermaine Johnson off, shakes his head, and he has a kick at the water bottle. And that's not the reaction he's looking for. The coaching staff say, hey, calm down. And then Brian Laws himself has to go over and calm him down. It's the wrong reaction. He's had a really good game. His team are in front in the Sheffield derby. You can't react like that, even if you are disappointed to leave the field.
Well, on it goes on. Well, thank goodness they're winning.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, if the fourth official is notifying Mike Dean about that incident or something.
Stuart Atwell is the fourth official. Is this to do with the incident with Jermaine Johnson when he came off, or something else? We're not entirely clear, truthfully. He kicked the water bottle, and did that water bottle then go into the Sheffield United bench? Was that the problem? I don't know.
It's dangerous. He kicked it that way. I'm sure it wasn't aimed at them.
Unless it hit somebody in the crowd.
It could well have done.
Let's check on it again.
Well, watch where the water bottle goes. Goes over the bench and into the crowd. It's very, very dangerous.
Well, now, what's going to happen here? Is he going to give a red card to Jermaine Johnson? I mean, he'd already had a yellow card, remember, out on the pitch. Well, this would be something, wouldn't it? Somebody being red carded after they've actually been substituted.
Well, how does that work then? Remarkable.
A second yellow and a red card for Jermaine Johnson, and an extraordinary day here just got a little weirder.
Well, I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. Surely that could have been done in the privacy of the dressing room. It's not affecting the numbers out on the pitch. Could have been made a note of and dealt with afterwards, surely.
Brian Laws is telling his players to carry on concentrating, but that ill-tempered reaction to being substituted has cost Jermaine Johnson a one-game ban.
It has cost him a one-game ban.
Yeah, he won't be able to play at Barnsley on Tuesday night.
I'll tell you what, I wonder if that'll end up in trivia. Because Sheffield Wednesday have had a player sent off, but they've still got 11 men on the pitch.
There's no doubt about it. That plastic bottle did go careering into the crowd. And I suppose it could have caused an injury. Of course, we had that nasty incident with the referee's assistant at Aston Villa yesterday. That was something different, with fans throwing a coin at, well, maybe Harry Redknapp, maybe the officials.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was no intent on Jermaine Johnson whatsoever. It's a bad reaction, it's the wrong reaction, it's a dangerous thing to do, to kick a water bottle that aggressively that it goes so far and ends up in the crowd.
Is Beattie. This is a game of many stories and chapters.
Not half. It's still only 1-0 though. Still finely poised. You just wonder whether Sheffield United, it's been quite some time since that James Beattie header. That was their last opportunity. Are they going to get another one?
And after all that, Sheffield United are still in this. Just Naismith. Ahiog with the header. Kyle Norton towards Beattie. Morgan trying to find the ball, and Quinn breaking in behind. Black stayed down.
Could have been interesting, couldn't it?
Here's Wood. It's a mistake by him. Stokes. First involvement, not a bad one, and just past the post by Beattie. Sheffield United thought for a moment there, so did their fans, that was the leveller.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday, they're nearly the masters of their own undoing. They give the ball away in such a dangerous area. And Stokes, well, he does really well to find Beattie. And, oh, that is so close. And is that the chance that Sheffield United and Kevin Blackwell were waiting for? Will they get another one?
Goalkeeper was beaten, the ball was heading for the corner, and just that little amount of spin, because it was the outside of the boot, took it, what, inch, 2 inches wide?
It was the side spin, because the ball was rolled across James Beattie. He had to cut across the ball, and that's why it swerves away.
Great first contribution, wasn't it, too, by Anthony Stokes to set all that up.
It was. Anthony Stokes does ever so well there. He nips in, and you wonder, has he got the pace to burst clear? Well, Sheffield Wednesday get back well, but he's got the awareness to pick Beattie out, and there's the side spin that you're talking about. As this ball is squared, he's got to cut across it to keep it down, and that's the side spin that takes it wide.
Meanwhile, there's a problem here for O'Connor. Coming up later, don't forget, from the Premier League, an absolutely intriguing game. Stoke City at home to bottom of the table, Tottenham. Can they get their first win? Find out 3:30, Sky Sports 1 and HD 1. Burton did very well. McAllister was pulled back, free kick, dangerous position here.
Well, again, an opportunity for Sheffield Wednesday to finally put this game to bed.
Get another Sheffield Wednesday substitution, but not before Steve Watson takes the free kick. It was a clever little idea to spur. It wasn't the one Sheffield United were expecting. Great first touch from Webber. Beautiful piece of play from him, but it all just got a bit too congested. Sheffield Wednesday are a little matter of just under a quarter of an hour away from a priceless derby win. I said in the newspaper last night, this is about which set of fans can walk around the city with their heads held high. I think it might be about the set of fans who can even go out this week. They won't forget this one, I think. Either manager, a strange game. Penalty save, 2 red cards in the end. Good goal from Steve Watson. It's O'Connor to be replaced by the winger, Dutch winger Etienne Essayas. Been very much part of the first team plans all season. He was left out of the starting lineup today.
Is replaced by number 11, Etienne Essayas.
Is Sodje with a little flick on offside. Not a quiet day for referee Mike Dean.
No, certainly not. Not for anybody here.
Bounces around dangerously in there. Steve Watson who got it away, and then Tudgay who took a knock and limped out of that.
Well, they're going to take the time now, you would think. Sheffield Wednesday, it's in a very strong position.
Sheffield United saved the game late at Bramall Lane last season. 5 minutes to go after being 2-0 down on that occasion, but they didn't have 10 men then. Here's Essayas on the chase. And Norton, what a challenge from the young man. Superb play. Difficult bounce for Beavers, but he was the boss.
There's a lot of talented young footballers out there, isn't there, on view in both teams. Certainly Norton, one of them.
But just confirmation that the official reason for that second yellow for Jermaine Johnson, amounting to a red card, was unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking that bottle away into the crowd. In towards Beattie. Absolutely daft by Jermaine Johnson, you'd have to say. What a stupid way to pick up a one-game ban.
That's crazy, isn't it? They played so well as well. Disappointed to come off the field, but you've got to accept your manager's decisions.
It was an unprofessional reaction, wasn't it? With the team 1-0 up, the boss has made a strategic choice. And he goes into a huge huff about it in a Steel City derby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to, well, he probably already is regretting his reaction.
Francis Jeffers, another famous name. He's had a lot of injury problems, about to be introduced for Dion Burton. Not quite yet, though. Watson wins the header. Is it another clean sheet at Hillsborough for Sheffield Wednesday? Sodje is taken out there, and it's a yellow card this time for Naismith.
It's the right colour, there's no doubt about it. Again, Burton and Sodje linking up well, pokes the ball away. Gary Naismith just mistimes it. Sodje had a covering man coming across in Norton.
Here comes Francis Jeffers, who's been on the bench for the last few games now. Terrible problems all last season with ankle problem. Now he's missed a penalty, Dion Burton, in the game, which almost seems like an incidental aside after everything else that's happened. A big round of applause, really worked hard holding things together up there, Dion Burton. Appreciative applause, and on comes Francis Jeffers, for whom Arsene Wenger once paid £8 million, you might remember.
He's been a super goal scorer, hasn't he? Suffered with injuries.
Pushing and shoving. Free kick. Quinn. Here's Jeffers' first involvement. McMahon. Here's Jeffers again. Goes for goal straight away. Wants to make a point.
I said he was a goal scorer, didn't I? Only one thing in his mind when he picks this ball up from Steve Watson. Nice little touch by Watson. One touch and bang. And it's a decent strike.
Little matter, just under 7 minutes remaining. There might be a fair bit to add on as well.
I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty to add on. It seemed to take an age for the officials to send Jermaine Johnson off. Of course, not forgetting he may well have already seen red before that for an elbow.
How much energy left in the legs of a 10-man Sheffield United? They have to play the last hour with 10 men. Oh, what a ball. Norton off the outside of the boot. Here's Stokes. Should be an equaliser. It was missed on the near post by Gary Speed, just behind him, to be fair. And now the brakes are with Sojay. Possession almost having to be quarried over there.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on out there. Norton, but Gary Speed, who's down. What an opportunity he had to bring his team level. He arrives perfect timing as he makes his way into the box, and he just misses his kick completely in front of goal. And Gary Speed, well, you would expect him to hit the target from there, and he would expect that of himself.
Norton. That's going to be Lee Grant, the goalkeeper. Norton down the line towards Beattie. Spur on the header. Was he caught afterwards by Beattie? He's been flattened there. The referee hadn't given the free kick, mind, but he's stopping the game here now.
That's right in front of the assistant referee. Neither of them gave a free kick. Looks like a clash of heads because James Beattie's rubbing his head. I think it's Tommy Spur holding his head. Helping hand from Mike Dean. Beattie attacks it, and there's the clash of heads. Could have been a lot worse.
Confirmation of a 30,000 plus crowd. They've had to reduce the capacity today for various safety and police reasons. This ground does hold up to just under 40,000. Staged so many FA Cup semi-finals, of course. And they probably could have sold the Sheffield United contingent 4 times over. They had 5,000. Their side 1-0 down here, though, as Stokes is blocked off by Tudgate. Here's Naismith. Naismith again. Quinn tries to dig out a cross.
They're certainly having a go, aren't they? Last 2 or 3 minutes. Committed bodies forward, Sheffield United. That's what he's urging even more.
There's a bit of cramp, I think, here for Wood, is it? Needs treatment, yeah. And this will mean even more added time. But I'll tell you something, the Sheffield Wednesday supporters have already started their celebrations. They beat United here last season, and they reckon they're going to do it again.
Well, they're happy, aren't they? Very, very happy. We've seen a very, very good, certainly committed performance from their team. At Sheffield United, well, it's not that a long way home, is it? But they'll be so, so disappointed. They'll just be hoping that their boys get one more chance.
I'll tell you what, Greg Whelan's post-match interviews today will be more than usually interesting with the two managers, because he might need about a half-hour special, I think, to cover all the points.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Absolutely. And of course, don't forget, coming up too, as we reminded you earlier, that tasty-looking Premier League game between Stoke City and Spurs. Heog gets it away. His record of never being on a losing Sheffield United side very much in danger now. McMahon long to Soje, instant control. It's lovely control by the big striker. The shot not quite as impressive.
Well, I'll tell you what, he may have been out for quite some time, but he hasn't lost any of his confidence, has he? Super first touch. Poor strike.
Soje has scored 9 in his last 13 games for Wednesday, and he's managed to get out on the pitch. Here's Esaias, one of the substitutes. We think there might be 6 minutes of added time here, which is not a surprise, bearing in mind all the kerfuffle about the Jermaine Johnson red card.
They've had the trainer on a couple of times, haven't they, for injuries and niggles.
Sean McAllister. And Sheffield United got one last chance in them. Naismith. Quinn needed to get that, he didn't, and Beavers can just, Woodrather can just play it back to his goalkeeper Grant. Tudgate, Soje, and Ehiog up to Paddy Kenny. 2 big incidents in that first half: a Kilgallen red card and a big mix-up between Morgan and Kenny, which led to Steve Watson's goal. Followed by a penalty miss, and then another red card in the second half. Now that's just about half the story here.
So right, dull it has not been.
Ehiog, fair enough challenge. Tudgate, quick footwork, he might set up something here. Naismith with a superb block. Esaias struck it, deflected behind, off Ehiog for a corner.
Oh, it just wouldn't come down for him, would it? Etienne Esaias has the ball. Tudgate does brilliant, doesn't he? Wriggling his way free, manoeuvres the ball to get the strike away, and as it spins and it's cleared, it's still spinning. That's what makes it difficult.
The start of a lot of stoppage time. Sean McAllister. Back to Steve Watson. They've got a long time if they're going to try and keep the ball in the corner. It's about another 5 minutes of stoppage time left. McAllister wants a free kick.
Well, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it, if the players realise that 6 minutes extra time, stoppage time has gone up on the board, because you're right, running the clock down for 6 minutes, a very long time.
Well, we're told that the board that shows you the 6 minutes, this is just the latest incident here, is broken. So the players won't have seen that. They're presumably getting some messages from the bench. They think they should be celebrating, but they're not quite sure, because it's not over yet, not by a long chance. Esaias, no chance of adding to the lead with that one.
Went for glory, didn't he? Wrong option.
Did get the winner in the last home game against Nottingham Forest, Esaias. And Grant's taking as much time as he dare, going off to the far pastures of the penalty area. for some reason. I think we know the reason.
He just wants to run that clock down, but again, I didn't think he would get away with it.
He just took too long, and it's the referee. Well, he just overdid the time wasting, Grant, there, and the free kick is given here. Goodness me, what a twist this might be.
Oh, it's madness from Lee Grant, isn't it? He's trying to run the clock down, but once he actually picks the ball into his hands, can't keep it that long. Well, I don't think this will be subtle.
Well, Beattie's there, Stokes is there, Speed's talking to the referee. The Sheffield United, you feel, have got to make this one count. There's argy-bargy going on in the wall. Sojay's getting in a clash with Ehiog, and there might be more work for the referee here. How's he going to sort all this out? It's all getting out of control. It has just been in danger of boiling up rather too much.
Well, he took a long, hard look at that situation, Mike Dean. As it started kicking off, he stepped away to a position to make sure he could see everything that went on.
It looks like Sojay's getting booked, and Ehiog too. That's the bottom line here. So, but nobody else. But what a chance here for Sheffield United, with the clock showing what, the 95th minute.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised, should we?
They've played the last 65 of those 95 with 10 men. Are they going to rescue a point? It was a daft piece of time wasting, really, by Grant. He asked the referee to do this, almost. Stokes, and the wall charges it down. Sheffield Wednesday get away with it. How relieved does the goalkeeper feel about that?
Well, still a bit more defending to do. They've got a corner to defend, but it is a disappointing attempt, isn't it?
Even Paddy Kenny's coming forward for this. It's long, it's not the greatest delivery, it was a long way beyond the back post, but Norton's got it here. Played back in there towards Paddy Kenny, driven in there by Gary Speed. It was a good effort by Speed too. Grant was there, the crowd are howling at the referee to blow it.
Well, they were howling at the goalkeeper
Kenny's
to
out
kick
of his
it.
goal here.
Yeah, that's what they were screaming at the crowd.
Grant was looking to join the list of goalkeepers who got on the score sheet. Different bounce, he might have managed it. Beattie again. Two players down on the floor. It's like the Alamo out there, and that's been roughly the kind of atmosphere this game has been played in.
Yeah, absolutely. All the way through from the first minute through to the 96th. It's been quite a remarkable game.
It's a Wednesday festival on a Sunday.
Oh, it is up now. They think that's it, don't they? They're bouncing. That's where he wants them to put that ball, in the corner.
Is Mike Dean going to blow with the ball in mid-air? He is not. There's more yet.
Well, again, the free kick, there was lots of scuffling. It took an age from when the actually free kick was given to when they took it, so he's just adding that extra time on here now. He's quite allowed to do.
And Wednesday will just look to knock this in the corner, surely now. This should finish before the Stoke-Spurs game.
Only just.
Yeah, chipped into the corner, predictably enough, but Sheffield United get it away. Speed, he'll go long. Too long. That's going to be Grant's, and this time he will get rid quickly if he's got any sense at all. Yep. This time he's going to blow. Sheffield Wednesday, and Brian Lord Does win what has been an extraordinary match in the Steel City derby today at Hillsborough. A game of 1 goal, a missed penalty, 2 red cards and about 100 other talking points. And there's the hero, old soldier Steve Watson, giving Sheffield Wednesday a famous 1-0 win and the bragging rights here at Hillsborough.
Well, if that was your first Sheffield derby, now you know what it's all about. Brian Laws has now tasted victory in 2 out of his 3 Sheffield derbies, and for those from Sheffield like Beavers, what a day this has been.